No matter where you go, how fast you run, or how far you go, you will always be there when you get there. Hi, my name is James, and this is my take on reality. In this episode, I wanted to talk about Kody's lies and why he told those lies, and the building of why he got around to telling the lie the way he did. Now, before we get into it, I first want to say thank you to anybody who's taking time out to watch the videos. I genuinely appreciate it. You guys could be doing anything else in the world with anybody else in the world, but you're taking a couple moments with me, and I'm really appreciative of that fact. I also want to thank all the subscribers. You guys are really helping to make the channel grow, and we're getting the word out, and we're also hopefully adding to the discourse and discussions on conversations on how we can have better relationships moving forward in our lives. Now, if you're not subscribed to the channel, no worries. It's easy to do. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button down below, and you can too can sit at the cool kids table. No, really, if you subscribe to the channel, it really helps the channel out. It helps me out. And hey, who doesn't want to help a brother out? So go ahead and hit the HBO special, which stands for Help a Brother Out Special, down below by clicking the subscribe button, and hit that bell for notifications on when I upload new videos. Also, keep in mind that if you want to share the videos, I won't be offended, because sharing is caring. Now, with all that being said, let's get it. You can see Kody's big lie where he decides he's going to stick his tongue out because he's so moved by what's going on and how that all came to be. Because if you watch the body language, especially in these 4 clips that I've set aside and cut out, that you can see how he started to get offended, how he started to feel defensive, and where he started to move and how he started to move in that direction where he was going to show so much emotion. I'm just glad he didn't pull the whole, you put the knife in my kidneys routine that he pulled at Christine's house. Now, the first video that we're going to watch is actually going to be where he watches a bunch of videos with Christine, and he's asked because he's so upset and so offended by what she said. She calls him a coward and all this, and she says all these negative things about their relationship, and he feels like he's in a defensive mode where he has to try to lash out at her. So he says, oh, well, she's a game player. Oh, why don't I get along, Christine? Because she be playing the game. She's a game player, manipulator. Right? And watch his expression when Suki asks him about it.
I need you to help me understand that. Was Christine playing you and playing the game?
Now, as you can see, when she says, oh, so Christine has been playing you. See, that took Kody for a loop, because it's one thing for him to say that Christine is a game player. It's another thing for him to say that Christine is playing games on him and he's getting played. That would imply that Christine is actually smarter than Kody and she outsmarted him, and he can't handle that. His pride is too fragile to handle the mere idea or suggestion that he was outsmarted at any point by one of his wives, especially Dodo Christine, in his respective way that he carried himself through it. Oh, she's outsmarted me? No way. No, she's mean to the other people. Not me, though. Not me. Now, in the second clip, it's an immediate follow-up to the first clip that I just showed, where Suki had continued to say, he's offended because all of a sudden Christine outsmarted him. And he said, well, what you just said, that's kind of mean that you would say something like that. Now, what this does is it automatically flips things back onto Kody. Let's take a look.
Because it seems very, very cold. Like a cold thing to say. Not something that a husband would say to his wife.
Now, as you saw in the video, when she flipped it around and all of a sudden now see if he's being cold and he's being mean and he's saying inappropriate things, he's no longer the status quo as far as not only not the status quo of what a husband should be, but he's certainly not the role model of what being married is. And, being a polygamous husband, which is a higher calling according to Kody, he's not a good representation of that. So she kind of one-twoed his whole ego, because now he's not only getting played and he's a dodo, but on top of that, he's a crappy husband. Now, in this third clip, I'm going to show this is where Kody tries to make it all make sense. He tries to turn everything around by blaming Christine for the problems that he's having in his relationship. So everything is Christine's problem. Let's take a look at this video.
She comes to a family party and leaves, yelling to one of the kids that she was in a loveless marriage. This is 2 years before she kicks me out.
Now, I love the ending of the video because he says this whole thing where he blames Christine and he just kind of gives up when he realizes that he's not getting the response from Suki that he's demanding. And he's starting to realize that, okay, well, if Suki's not responding with oh my goodness, I can't believe she would do that. She's such a horrible person. You're such an angel and such a good person for even putting up with somebody like Christine, Cody. That's what he was looking for. He was looking for that affirmation in Suki's response. But Suki just sat there and stared at him. So Cody's like, whatever. And I love that. I love the fact that he just kind of gave up. You ever put your heart into something like the best you got? This is the equivalent of being a boxer who goes into the ring and you say, your coach is like, you've been training, you've been working so hard, you can do it, you can win, get in there and knock his head off, you got the power. And you go in there and you hit that guy as hard as you can and he just stands there and grins at you. Oh my God, how deflating is that? And that's where Cody was. He gave his best shot and nothing happened. It just went flat. And that's where Cody's whole interview section is really at as far as this one-on-one so far. He's been trying his best to swing for the fences and he's been striking out the whole way because he thought he had her with the whole, I ain't afraid of nothing but poverty. Like he thought she was going to be like, oh yeah, that's genius. Because Suki had that blank look on her face and she even started laughing at him, which hurt his feeling. That's why he double taked on her because she started giggling. And then when he says the whole thing where he blames Christine and that doesn't take, now all of a sudden Cody is in an extremely defensive mode because remember, she hit him as far as his ego. Oh, she's outsmarting you. Then she turns around and says that you're a bad husband, so you're not a role model, you're not an example, you're not a good guy. Then she turns around and she doesn't give him any traction when he tries to fall to the fallback of blaming Christine. That means that he's not getting traction on hurting and damaging Christine's reputation, especially with TLC. So he feels deflated. So where does he go? And this is the weird part about it. He realizes that through his interaction with Robyn and Robyn, the way she coaches him, because he looks up to Robyn and how she does her communication. Because remember, he thinks that she's a superior communicator, or should I say manipulator. So what is Robyn's key or chief resource or tool used when she's trying to manipulate people? Her tears. So that's why Cody started trying to bubble up and get caught up in emotion and trying to tell this story about how Christine is playing games. Because the whole description that he used and the story that he told isn't a good example of how Christine is playing games. If anything, you could say Christine was extremely selfish and she wouldn't allow me to continue a relationship with Mary. And here's an example of that. But for you to say that she's a game player, that's not a game. A game would be basically what Robyn does. That's a game. Saying that, presenting one thing and then coming back and doing something totally different. Saying one thing and then coming back and doing something totally different. What Cody does is a game. Pretending that, he's going to give affection to somebody and then he pretends to take that affection away. That's a game. But what he described isn't a game. That's her being straight up. I don't want her in the family. Like, if that was what happened, which I don't think that's what happened, but if that is what happened, Christine would have every right to say, look, I don't think that this relationship works out. I don't think that she's a good fit in our family. But if she took that position, why would Christine take that position? And to be honest with you, Christine clearly doesn't have that kind of power because Christine clearly has more against Robyn than she does against Mary. So if she had such influence on what Cody did and didn't do, why doesn't that influence carry over when it comes to Robyn? And why is it only salient when it comes to Mary? And the weird part about it is that by him using or studying under the tutelage of Robyn, what he realized is that not only are tears part of her plan, but she has a means and a method of trying to make herself the victim. And that's what Cody has been attempting to do this entire season, for the last 2 seasons, really. Oh, I can't believe Christine moved my stuff out of the house. I had no idea. I had no idea. And that whole thing where all of a sudden he's offended because Christine moved his stuff out of the house and he had no idea and she never notified him or let him know that there was even a problem. Then all of a sudden he came home and everything was out of the house and in the garage. That was one of the first time he really started rolling out the whole victim mentality. The next thing he tried to do is he tried to say that Christine was trying to take his kids away and trying to rob him of the ability to be a parent. Again, talking about being a victim. When he started talking about how she's going to come after his money, him being a victim. Somehow everything that deals with this show or this situation when it comes to Christine is him being victimized. It has nothing to do with how he treated her or maybe the fact that their relationship was falling apart. It's about him being a victim. Now, with all that being said, I have a theory, and here's my theory. I can't prove it either way. This is just my suspicion. I think that historically, if we look at how Cody interacts with Robyn, and especially the way he protects Robyn or deals with any conflict that Robyn is involved with, the first thing he does is he deflects all attention or all ill will from Robyn to somebody either in the family. You're coming against the family. It's not Robyn. You have something against the family. You're hurting the family. Or he swaps Robyn out for one of the other wives. So instead of it being an issue between Christine and Robyn, all of a sudden it's an issue between Christine and Mary, and that's why he's mad. I'm not mad because I'm mad. I'm mad because of the way you're treating Robyn. Or I'm not mad because I'm mad. I'm mad at the way that you're disregarding the family. I'm not mad about the family. I'm mad because the way you treated Mary. You don't give a damn about Mary, and it's apparent you don't care about Mary. Especially being as though you told this particular lie, which demonstrates how little regard you have for Mary. Now, here's where it gets kind of sticky, and this is just my opinion and my speculation. But why are these particular lies being told? I think that these lies are ultimately being told because Robyn is pushing a lot of this. Cody obviously is all in with the whole thing because he doesn't like the fact that he's been embarrassed by Christine because Christine left him. It's a damage to his ego. It's a damage not only to his sexual ego and his sexual pride and health and the way he sees himself sexually because she rejected him, especially if he thinks that she's not attractive, she's not hot, she's not the hottie toddy cutie booty or whatever the case, whatever you want to call it. He thinks that she's beneath him. So how dare you reject me is kind of where he starts at. Then there's the fact that she revealed the fact that he has problematic marriages and relationships with the people that he's supposed to be caring about. She also revealed that he has problematic relationships with his kids, that he's supposed to be not only the stand-up husband, but the stand-up father. And he's just genuinely supposed to be the stand-up man. She calls him a coward. She's attacking his quote-unquote manhood. So he has all kinds of problems with Christine, but I think that Robyn is in on the whole heist and the lie and stealing of Christine's character because ultimately she's jealous of Christine. Now, in the My Take comment section, you can see it all day where people will say that Robyn doesn't, when you talk about seeking sister wives and adding more sister wives to the family, a lot of the people will say Robyn will never go along with Cody adding more sister wives because she's jealous of anybody coming into the family. She used to call Cody, try to prevent Cody from spending time with the wives. Cody go over to see Jannelle. All of a sudden, Robyn remembered that she got something to deliver to Jannelle, and even though Cody's there and it's supposed to be Janelle's time, all of a sudden Robyn shows up to the house. Oh yeah, Jannelle, I had this salt I was supposed to give you, and I just wanted you to have this salt. Cody, what you doing over there? Can I sit next to you, Cody? Like, I'll come in and just talk to you guys for a little bit. Like, that whole thing. So there's that part of it. But I think that she's also jealous of the fact that she didn't just marry the man. She didn't just marry the family. She married the fame. So she wants to be famous. And once you get on a show, you're happy and excited that you're part of a production, especially as a talent or a creative or an actor or actress. You're excited about being on the show or the movie or whatever the project is. But after a while, you start to look around and say, why do they get more lines than me? And then maybe not even so much more lines. Why do they get better lines than me? If you look at groups like the Jackson 5, for instance, Michael, Tito, and Jermaine and all them, there was a point where Jermaine, the older brother to Michael Jackson, would say, well, why does Michael get all the best parts? Why does he have the best parts? Michael don't have the best parts. Michael's just a better singer than you, bruh. So any part that Michael sung would have been the best part of the song. It's not the part of the song, it's him. But Jermaine didn't see it that way. He just thought that, Barry Gordy and the producers were giving Michael Jackson the best parts of the song, and he resented him for that. When you look at somebody like Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs, do you know Anthony Hopkins won an Academy Award for his part in the Silence of the Lambs? It was a 2-hour movie. Anthony Hopkins was in it had exactly about 16 minutes worth of screen time. He had less than 20 minutes of screen time, took the whole movie. He's pretty much the reason why the movie is as good as it is, because he didn't have the best lines. He was just a phenomenal actor. And when it comes to Christine and the sister wives and Robyn and the sister wives, Robyn looks at it, I don't understand why everybody likes Christine. I'm going to adopt the sympathetic wife. I'm going to adopt the last wife. So a lot of things that Christine had going for her, Robyn has tried to adopt. I'm the last one married and everybody's against me and everybody's trying to hold out to me. Everybody's being mean to me. These are things that she thinks on the surface that makes the fans attracted to Christine. That's why they roll these narratives out about Christine. Oh, she's mean to me. Christine had that same narrative when it came to Jannelle and Mary. When she first came into the family, she said the other two wives were mean to her. And she said that Mary had continued to be mean to her. And a lot of the fans had sympathized with her. It's just that she's a sympathetic character. So a lot of people will sympathize with her. It's not just the story. But the way that Kody and Robyn have built themselves up, they think that by them turning Robyn into the bigger victim, that she will become sympathetic and she could take over the role, or at least swap out the role for Christine. They turn Christine into the villain, turn Robyn into the sympathetic character. All of a sudden, Robyn starts to explode in popularity. It's just not working now. And I say this all because all the lies that they've been telling about Christine have been designed to turn the fans against Christine. Not realizing that Christine's popularity really exploded as far as the sister wives were concerned when she had packed up Kody's boxes and put them in the garage. That's when everybody started watching the show and started commenting on the show, and the show started to explode, and there was more interest in the sister wives show. The show was actually dying on the vine before this happened, before that season happened. Now, the killer part, and this is the part where I think that, is really kind of rubbing Robyn and killing her inside. It's just slowly killing her. That's why, her whole appearance is just starting to get beat down and broken. Is that as Christine starts to rise in popularity, Robyn is being cited as a villain in a lot of cases. So she's getting a lot of people that don't like her. And they're making it very vocal. They talk about all the time they can't go out because, people will say something, stop ruining the family, Robyn. They try to eat chicken nuggets or something. She get balled out. So they stop going out. But the whole thing is that Christine, because her popularity is rising, she's actually been in talks to get her own cooking show on TLC. And they were talking about, and a lot of the fans, even in the My Take on Reality comment section and some of the other places that I've seen, some of the other videos and YouTubers have all commented that they would love to see a show with Janelle and Christine. And that has to be killing not only Kody, but I know that's killing Robyn. Every time Robyn passes something or she sees online and fans are calling for Christine to get her own show, she probably breaks a mirror in her house, which explains those eyebrows. Now, here's where Kody messed up. Because Kody is starting to mess up TLC's bag. And TLC don't really tolerate that kind of thing. Because TLC, as a company and as a corporation, especially as a reality show channel, has been plagued with accusations that they have constructed storylines, they have created fake and fabricated relationships between people, and they've created these scenarios and situations. They've given people lines and they've given people things to say. And these things have permeated through a lot of TLC's different franchises, whether it's 90 Day Fiance, this show, Seeking Sister Wives, so on and so forth. Everybody is kind of on the fence. Baby Mama, or I'm a Mama's Boy, that's another one, where I hope that show is fake and I hope that it's not real. But what I think happens is, I think that the characters or cast members on TLC will have something happen. They'll go back and tell TLC about it, and they basically do a reshoot or they do a reenactment of that thing. And so they may or may not be fully aware of the ins and outs or complications or intricacies of that particular discussion or conversation. They just want to get it on tape. Now, how did Kody mess up? Kody messed up in three particular areas, or three areas that I'll cite right off the top. Kody's use of a lie to try to catch Christine and turn fans against Christine. First of all, you don't kill the golden calf. That's the rule number one in production. If Christine is laying, the goose is laying the golden eggs, you don't do nothing to that. You protect that. So the fact that Kody is coming after her and could damage her and hurt her and destroy the viewership, because destroying Christine doesn't mean automatically people going to go to Robyn and Kody. That just means people won't watch the show. So if you do that for TLC will go about the business of destroying you, which is part of the reason why I think that they're airing a lot of the stuff that Kody has said and the inconsistencies in which it exists. So Kody's claims about Christine damages his integrity, because now you can't trust anything that he says, especially when he's talking about previous unaired or unfilmed interactions that he's had with the family. The second thing which damages him, and for those of you who are kind of Mary conspiracy theorists might actually appreciate this, when he said that he was thinking about getting back with Mary and Mary directly disputed everything he said and threw it under the bus, then she turned around and said that, oh yeah, me and Kody, we've been broken up for years now. We haven't been together for years. And I went to him and said, maybe we should tell the fans, maybe we should tell TLC that we aren't together so we could catch it on tape and we can live that reality on the TV show. A storyline. And Kody told her no, because it's going to make me look bad, which translates to, no, don't share that part of our lives, because it could damage my relationship with you, and it creates more tension if you're around and he's trying to do his own production notes. That is extremely damaging, because that goes into the whole, you're creating fake storylines and fake couples to try to push a narrative or push a storyline out. And Kody played right into that. And Mary is the one who pulled the trigger and let everybody know. So Mary just basically took Kody out. She godfathered this dude. Those not familiar, I've never seen the movie. There was a scene where two old buddies, one guy was employed to go whack the other guy who was his friend. And the friend said to his buddy who was supposed to whack him, he said, come on. What about old time's sake, huh? And his friend was like, that's Mary. She's like, Mary, I'm trying to keep this TV show. I got to keep the lights on. I got to stay in the big house, or Robyn's going to divorce me. Old time's sake, Mary? Kody should watch it back, son. The third thing is TLC is not in on the lie. That's a problem. TLC's not in on it. So when he sits up there and he tells this story about how he was going to get back with Mary and everything was going to be everything, and Mary remembers or Robyn remembers and this or that, and he has this whole storyline laid out. If TLC was a part of constructing this storyline, they would have talked to the other wives and they would have had the other wives co-sign it. But it seems like the only people who are involved in this lie, at least as it's presented right now, is Kody said the lie, Robyn supports the lie, Mary says she's ignorant of the lie, and then of course Christine is denying the lie. The only person left is Janelle. And the question is, who do you think Janelle is going to side with? If she sides with Christine and says, oh yeah, Christine totally did that, she could do damage to Christine, no doubt. She'll do a little bit of damage to Christine, especially if Christine gets caught in a lie. And that could damage their relationship, and that could create a storyline in and of itself, particularly if those two get their own show. But it will be extremely devastating to Kody if Janelle comes out and says that Kody never had that conversation. That never happened. Christine would never do that. I don't know what Kody's talking about. That would be devastating, Kody. If people are talking about they want Kody off the show, that actually might get Kody off the show. Let me know what you guys think in the My Take section down below. My name is James. This has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die.